Hi children, welcome back. This is Vijaya signing in. Shall we continue? Are you all desperate to know about Einstein more? About him? Yes. So where did we landed yesterday before we were closing the session? Yes, it was all about his childhood. So Albert Einstein, when he was a child, around 2.5 years old, he could not speak. When he started also, he had a problem with his speech, as he used to utter every word twice. He used to say each word twice, which made his friends to laugh at him, make fun of him. Then Albert Einstein did not like the way the children started making fun of him. Then what did he do? Then he thought of playing himself. And also his playmates used to call him as what? Brother Boring. And also very funnily, his mom also calls him differently. Her perception is different. What did she say? She said maybe Einstein is a freak. He's different. He's not like all other children. And also she said that maybe his mind is too large to understand, because he had many thoughts lingering in his mind, many questions. Maybe, we do not know. That's how he had become the physicist. Am I right? Yes. Then when he decided that no, I'm no more, I'm interested to play with other children because they are going to make fun of me as I have problem with my speech, let me play myself all alone. That's how he started spending his time being all alone. Shall we continue, children? So please open your ebooks and also have your running notes along and take down the teaching points in your running notes. It will be very useful for your reference purpose. Yes. So the youngster is none other than the young Albert Einstein, played by himself much of the time. So always he used to be alone, single, playing for himself. He especially loved mechanical toys. So being a young boy, very young boy, he used to play with mechanical toys only. He prefers to play with mechanical toys. Then see the funniest thing here. Looking at his newborn sister. So then his parents were blessed with another child, a girl child. So it is none other than his younger sister. When he looked at his newborn sister, her name is Maza. It's not our Maza mango drink. It is M-A-J-A. It's Maza. He said to have said. So he might have told. It's an assumption. He said to have said that, fine, but where are her wheels? So this shows, how desperately he only thinks about the mechanical toys. When he looked at the young baby, he felt as if it is a doll, it is a toy. And he was just, he was wondering, why doesn't the particular young doll has any wheels? Why doesn't it have any wheels? So this shows that he had a lot of interest only towards the mechanical toys. Then he took the young newborn baby, that is his own sister, as what? A mechanical toy. He found the very young tiny baby, as a mechanical toy. But he was wondering where are the wheels for the toy. Then a headmaster once told his father that what Einstein chose as a profession wouldn't matter because he will never make a success at anything. Please try to underline this, children. Try to underline this sentence. A headmaster of his own school, usually teachers or principals or any head of the department, usually they never conclude by looking at the performance once in one particular examination, summative examination one, or periodic assessment, or a concept-based test or something. We never, assess your performance basing on one particular thing. But whereas in his case, in Albert Einstein's case, school headmaster himself said to Einstein's father saying that you need not really worry about your son, because what profession or which profession he selects is something which does not matter here, because he can never be successful in any. So it means you need not bother about your son because he is going to be unsuccessful wherever he goes. It's a statement given by his school principal. How wrong he was, isn't it, children? So it was said to be so bad. Then Einstein began learning to play the violin at the age of 6. So he started learning the instrumental playing, that is violin. He started playing in violin because his mother wanted him to do. Because it was his mother's choice to let him play violin. Violin is a musical instrument, as you all know it. Then he started learning. Then he later became a gifted amateur violinist. So as his principal called, as his principal stated, he could not really gain any perfection in playing the violin, the musical instrument. But yes, he remained as an amateur. So imperfect. He wasn't that perfect in playing the violin. Maintaining the skill throughout his life. So, but he continued playing the violin what he learned. Though he wasn't perfect, he continued playing. But Albert Einstein wasn't a bad pupil. So now please underline this also. Though the principal commented, though the headmaster commented about him that what field he selects is something which does not matter, because anyhow your son is going to be unsuccessful. He just stated as a statement, he just declared that Einstein would not be successful in any time. But as a school student, pupil is a student. As a student, he wasn't that bad. He went to high school in Munich. Munich is the capital city of Germany in those days, Munich. So he went to high school in Munich, where Einstein's family had moved when he was 15 months old. So when he was 15 months old itself, they have moved to this place called Munich, which was a capital city of Germany in those days. And scored good marks in almost every subject. So when he was in high school, he scored very good marks in almost all the subjects. Einstein hated the school's regimentation. Please underline this word, children. Regimentation is nothing but set of rules and regulations. So he did not like those rules and regulations where he had to be under the strict control of the school management. He did not like those rules. Like usually, guidelines will definitely be given. Rules and regulations are set for any of the schools, right? So that he did not like it, regimentation. So this shows that Albert Einstein had a thought of having lot of liberty and freedom. This particular sentence, it tells us that yes, he was wanting a lot of liberty. He did not want to be under somebody's forceful, strict control. And often clashed with his teachers, due to which what used to happen, he used to always argue with his teachers. As he did not want to follow the strict rules of the school, then he used to always quarrel and he used to always argue with his teachers. At the age of 15, Einstein felt so stifled there that he left the school for good. Then stifle, the word, please underline stifle. S-T-I-F-L-E-D. Stifle means what, children? When somebody crushes you, forcefully they keep you to do something which you don't want to do it. Unwillingly, when you are forced to do something, you feel stifled, breathless, very like you experience a lot of discomfort. So the same way, at the age of 15, finally Einstein, he felt that no, he is being forced to do something which he does not like it, being a school student in school. Then finally what did he do? He left school. Because he was feeling that he cannot anymore be under the strict control of the school. The previous year, Albert's parents had moved to Milan and left their son with relatives. So before all these things have happened, they left him in Milan where his relatives were staying. So he was kept with his relatives to maybe stay for some while. After prolonged discussion, Einstein got his wish to continue his education in German-speaking Switzerland. Then finally he did not want to continue there in Milan after the schooling or something. Then he decided, after prolonged discussion, in the sense extended discussions, they had lot of discussion discussing about what? His profession, his career, what to do, what not to do, where to study and all. Then finally who took the decision, children, here? It was Einstein to take the decision to study where? In Switzerland, because Germany, he was belonging to Germany, right? Then German is spoken in Switzerland because he's a native speaker of Germany, right? Then he was just wanting his own native language can be spoken the place where he goes. Then that is how he has chosen Switzerland to pursue his higher studies. In a city which was more liberal than Munich. Then there is also another reason. First reason to select Switzerland was, yes, there is German spoken. Another reason is that particular city has much more liberty than Munich, because he is a person who does not want to be under the oppressors. You remember the word, children? While I was teaching you the wind poem, I have introduced this. The people who try to control you, who try to command you. So even Einstein did not want to be under them. So there are two reasons to select Switzerland. One, as German is spoken there. Second one, it was much more liberal than Munich, the place which he belonged before. Einstein was highly gifted in mathematics and interested in physics. Now they are telling us about his interest in the academics. That is one, mathematics and physics. It's a fine combination of two subjects, mathematics and physics, and correlated subjects. Like, two different things which have got the same element into it. That is nothing but it's a beautiful combination of physics and mathematics. Then he was highly gifted, in the sense he was highly skilled. He was highly talented in mathematics and physics. And after finishing school, he decided to study at a university in Zurich. But science wasn't the only thing that appealed to the dashing young man with the walrus mustache. So see, children, then after finishing his schooling, to pursue his higher studies further, then he thought of just studying about mathematics and physics, having a combination in the University of Zurich. It's Z-U-R-I-C-H, Zurich. It's another city of. So then when he decided, then he thought, that's not only the thing that appealed to dashing young man with the walrus mustache. I shall try to show you the picture of the textbook, children. Try to please look at the Einstein's face. Is it seen, children? Able to see? Able to see? The two pictures of Einstein. They're calling walrus mustache. So you can see in the second picture, he has got mustache. What a mustache, mustache. And they called specifically as walrus. Walrus is nothing but, children, it's a marine mammal. It's an animal which looks like a fish only, which has got two tusks which like hang down. So even his mustaches are looking like that. Then he was called as a smart, dashing young man. Then he thought that dashing young man having those mustaches, no, it's not going to be only that which I need to pursue. I need to think of something else which can make me to have much more interest to do it. Then what did he do? We shall see in the 7th paragraph. He also felt a special interest in a fellow student. Now let us see something about his personal life also. Then he also felt a special interest in a fellow student. Fellow student is nothing but classmate, or like the same stream mate, the same department mate, kind of a thing. So fellow mate in the sense the one who walks in the same path of the element, the thing. It can be like it's the subject or the department or whatever. Then he had some special interest about. Who was it? It was Meliva Marek. Please underline the name. It's Meliva Marek. The name of the fellow student was Meliva Marek, whom he found to be a clever creature. So he called Meliva Marek as what, children? Clever creature. He called her as clever creature. This young Serb had come to Switzerland because the university in Zurich was one of the few in Europe where women could get degrees. Then they have given us a little information about Meliva Marek, that why did she come, and they called her as Serb. Serb means she is from Serbia. The one who belongs to the country of Serbia is called as a Serb. We are all Indians as we belong to India, right? He belonged to Germany, so he is a German. Similarly, she is a Serb because she belonged to which country, children? Serbia. Then the young Serb, what made her to come to Switzerland was one of the reasons. That is where one of the universities which would encourage the women to secure and get their degrees. So in olden days, hundreds of years ago, right? So there was not much of encouragement given for the women to get into the education field. We have learned this in Stephen Hawking's lesson also. You remember, children, it was the same thing which was being told about Hawking's mother also. Do you all remember? Yes. So similarly, that was the only reason what made the Serb girl, what was her name? Miliva Maric, who came from her country Serbia to Switzerland to pursue her education, because it was the one and only university which used to offer the degrees for the women as well. So the particular university used to encourage women to pursue the education there. Then Einstein saw in her an ally against the Philistines. So please underline the words ally and also Philistines. Then ally is nothing but, like friend, dearest friend. Then he found her as a dearest friend because she was the one who used to think about the art and literature and music also. She used to think. He is a physicist. Children, you please better not to forget. He was into mathematics and physics, and he was pursuing combination of physics mathematics. He used to always think about the same. But here the girl whom he felt that she could be one of his best friends was the one who used to think about the art, literature, music. So the word Philistines, the word is given, children. Please look at the meaning. Given a word used disapprovingly to talk about people who do not like art, literature or music. So this shows that she had a lot of interest towards all these things, art, music and literature. Then those people in his family and at the university with whom he was constantly at odds. So this is where, he found her to be his best friend. Can you really try to relate, children, that how could he make his choice to choose only her as one of his best friends? Because do you remember his childhood days? When he saw his playmates making fun of him, calling him brother boring, then he started playing himself being all alone. He did not mind because he could not mingle. If at all he starts mingling also, others would definitely make fun of him. So to avoid that, he played himself. Here the girl, it's Mileva Maric, is also such a girl, who belonged to Serbia. She does not like the people who hate or who don't like art, literature or music. Then she had limited friends. That is what we need to assume. Even she had little friends, like little number of a few friends only, a very few friends. Then even Albert Einstein had no friends maybe. That's a reason to pick her as one of his best friends. The couple fell in love as they were in their youth, so their friendship grew into love. Letters survive in which they put their affection into words. So they used to exchange even letters, writing to one to another about their interests and what sort of an affection and love they share towards each another, mixing science with tenderness. So please underline, children, that's right, because science is nothing but it's denoting whom, children? Einstein. Tenderness, the word is denoting whom? It is the girl Mileva Maric. Please do not forget this name. So very beautifully they just have, though they are exchanging their expressions in the form of letters, the way they have mentioned, mixing of science with tenderness, because it's combination of such combination, because he belongs to the field of science and she belongs to the field of tenderness, where she thinks only about what? Literature, music and art. So that's how they started moving. So Einstein, he wrote something saying that how happy and proud I shall be when we both have brought our work on relativity to a victorious conclusion. Then he comments that what sort of a beautiful combination it is. Whereas I only think about my science only, and she thinks about her literature, art and music. And when we both come together on the same platform, what sort of a beautiful combination we can make out, and we can create the theory of relativity. So that's how he had an idea of theory of relativity, which we have already mentioned as a third point. You all remember, children, theory of relativity. So there he calls his own relation with Mileva Maric as what? Theory of relativity. Shall we continue the rest of the lesson, the next session? Did you all find the story interesting? So that's what I said, that each coin has two ends. So this is the personal life as an individual. How was Albert Einstein we could come to know. So before we end up, we quickly sum up. In the first session we had come to know about his childhood days where he was unable to speak. Then he started limiting himself, playing himself, right? Then when he saw his younger sister, what was the comment made by him? He said, fine, everything's fine, but where are her wheels? Because he took the young baby as a mechanical toy. Then he started searching for the wheels. Therein, he was called as a good student, though the headmaster given a wrong remark and a statement saying that he will never be successful. He will never be successful and he will always remain as unsuccessful. But therein, he got and he secured very good marks in all the subjects, especially the combination of mathematics and physics. Then he has chosen to pursue his education in Switzerland. 2 reasons. One, as German was spoken there. Another one was that particular city has much more liberty and freedom than Munich, the other city which he was residing. Then he started liking his fellow student, who was a girl who was from Serbia. Then they both, they had come to one conclusion that better they can lead their life being a couple. Then they started sharing their expressions in the form of letters. Then finally he calls the combination as science, and it's a combination of science and tenderness. Science, he calls himself as science, and he calls his girlfriend as what? Tenderness. And therein he says that yes, our combination can create relativity. Have you all understood, children? So shall we continue the next session? So please keep reading, and as I serve you the worksheet, do attempt all the questions. This is Vijaya signing off. Take care, children.